Hello creatives! In this video, I'll share with you amazing Bill Gates advice for young people who want to be rich. These are true and tested secrets to attaining financial freedom and becoming wealthy. If you search for the world's wealthiest, most successful, and most powerful individuals, the name Bill Gates is likely to pop up. But why wouldn't he? He is Microsoft co-founder and the second richest person in the world. According to Forbes, Bill Gates is currently worth $119 billion, a figure only bettered by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who is worth $186. But it's worth noting that Bill Gates was the world's richest person between 1995 and 2017, save for 4 years, before Bezos toppled him. Interestingly, it's not the only record he's held in the world of the rich. Do you know that Bill Gates became a billionaire at 31? He held the youngest billionaire record between 1987 and 2010 before Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg toppled him at 23 years old. So if one person can advise young people about getting rich, it has to be Bill Gates. Luckily, the guy is very approachable and motivational. He gives no-nonsense advice about money and success that anyone ambitious can learn from. I've kept tabs on most of his speeches, read most of his books, and even watched some of his documentaries, and I'm going to share some standout pieces of advice. My favorite is advice number 7, which pushes me to work hard and change my financial situation for a better tomorrow. Watch out for it and be as inspired as I am. But before then, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel to continue receiving great videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get informed every time I publish a life-changing video. Let's start. Number 1. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Bill Gates understands that success can be short-lived. No matter how rich and prosperous you are, you can lose it all if you aren't humble. To him, success goes with humility. For starters, you have to accept that you don't know everything and that life is a learning process. One thing that Bill Gates does well to remain wealthy and successful is seeking knowledge. That brings us to the second piece of advice. His stubborn reading culture makes him one of the smartest people in the world. The other thing that he does well is to remain approachable. Whenever he meets a normal person like you or me, he always offers some advice. We also can't forget his charitable deeds around the world through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The takeaway: success has to be wooed by humility and the thirst for knowledge. You have to stay humble and seek knowledge all the time, regardless of how successful you are. Number 2. I spend a lot of time reading. Though Bill Gates has all the money in the world, he remains an avid reader. The Microsoft co-founder is reported to read 50 books a year, which is nothing short of amazing. The inspirational billionaire recognizes that books hold priceless knowledge, and that's why he's always hungry for knowledge. In the world of social media and Hollywood blockbusters, young people spend most of their time glued to the screen. That, my friend, is not Bill Gates' style, and it's the same for other billionaires. His friend and fellow billionaire Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day, representing 80% of his time. Other notable billionaires known to have a reading culture include Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, business magnate Richard Branson, and Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. The takeaway: develop a reading culture to grow your knowledge. Number 3. It's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure. After putting in a lot of work and sacrificing some things, you deserve to celebrate your success. Even Bill Gates recognizes that. What the billionaire doesn't recognize is overlooking your failures. Failures are just life lessons. You have to learn from your mistakes or things you didn't do right so that you can do them better next time. If you made an investment and things didn't happen as you expected, don't give up. Pick yourself up, shake off the dust of disappointment, and redo things with extra caution and wisdom this time around. Even Bill Gates has made a few mistakes in his career that he has learned from. For example, he regrets allowing Google to handle Android's development, which cost Microsoft $400 billion. The takeaway: celebrate your success, but don't forget to learn lessons from your failures. Number 4. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Bill Gates recommends that you learn from your unsatisfied customers. They complain about things that you need to act on. So unless you do something about their dissatisfaction, you may lose them and many others. Do you remember the old saying about the customer always being right? Well, you have to assume they are, even when they aren't. You need their money and your job is to satisfy their requests and demands. A smart business person takes time to listen to and deliberate on the concerns that customers raise. You have to give special consideration to concerns raised by multiple customers. If you aren't careful, your competitors will beat you at that. They'll look at what you aren't doing well and they'll do it, and before you know it, your esteemed customers will be long gone. The takeaway: listen to customer feedback and do the necessary implementation. As they say, the customer is always right. Number 5. Our success has been based on partnerships from the very beginning. Bill Gates' first major financial breakthrough was in 1975 when he partnered with his high school buddy Paul Allen and founded Microsoft. He still receives passive income from Microsoft, where he owns just over 1% in stocks. Yet, holding a small share hasn't stopped him from being rich. Ever since he partnered with Paul Allen to create Microsoft, Bill Gates has always been on the lookout for partners and has collaborated with some of the most successful people in the world, be it in business or charity. For example, he is a shareholder at Berkshire Hathaway, a company owned by his close friend and fellow billionaire Warren Buffett. Coincidentally, the two have pledged to give a majority of their wealth to the Giving Pledge initiative. Bill Gates even led Microsoft into partnering with Apple, who they consider their most significant competitor. The takeaway: find people who you can partner with to achieve something more significant. 2 heads are always better than 1. Number 6. Don't compare yourself with anyone in the world. If you do so, you're insulting yourself. Unfortunately, most young people like to compare themselves to others, especially those who are more talented, more successful, or more prosperous than them. Bill Gates warns against these perceptions as it's more like insulting yourself. Just like Abraham Lincoln wrote to his child's tutor, teach him that nobody in the world is bigger than him and that he is bigger than no one. According to Bill Gates, trying to compare yourself to others only leaves you unhappy, which is a recipe for failure. Your mission shouldn't be to beat others at their game, but in your own match. You need to be yourself, and if there is something that you don't like about yourself, change it. The takeaway: there is no other you but you. So appreciate that and avoid comparing yourself with others, as they are not your standard. 7. If you were born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is your mistake. Most people will tell you that people born to low-income families have a reduced chance of becoming rich. However, Bill Gates doesn't see it that way. According to him, anyone can become rich regardless of background. He doesn't blame anyone for being born poor, as it's something you have no control over. He does, however, believe that you can do something about your current situation. People like George Soros, Oprah Winfrey, Howard Schultz, and Larry Ellison grew up poor, but look at them now. They aren't just rich, but they're billionaire rich. Generally, it starts with a dream to change your financial situation, and then you have to work hard to realize it. That's the journey to financial freedom. The takeaway: start working on changing your financial situation if you were born poor, as nobody should die that way. Be the one to change your family tree forever. Number 8. If you show people the problems and you show people the solutions, they'll be moved to act. Bill Gates uses these words to spark some creativity in you. According to him, it's not just about identifying a problem around you, but also thinking of its solution. If you have both sides, it's easy to lead people or have them trust in your course. This advice is for every young person out there who wants to be rich, but also wants to be a leader. A leader doesn't just issue instructions, but also defines the objectives. You have to let people that you lead know why you're leading them that way. For example, if it's in business, Your employees should know why they're putting in more hours and what's in it for them if all goes according to plan. The takeaway: each time you identify a problem around you, work towards its solution before letting people know. Number 9. To win big, you sometimes have to take risks. Nothing comes cheap in life. The wealthiest people in the world had to take some significant calculated risks at some point. Subsequently, if you want to become wealthy and successful in what you're doing, you have to start taking calculated risks. Besides, it's easier when you're young as you don't have a lot to lose. You can't talk about your big dreams every day when you do nothing about them. You have to wake up early and start doing something about your dream. Consider investing in dividend-yielding stocks, start that business you've always wanted, or do anything you have to do provided you're motivated by returns. The worst thing you can do in your youth is make excuses. The takeaway: start taking calculated risks if the returns are worth it. Number 10. You need a coach. Lastly, everybody needs someone in their life who can guide, motivate, and advise them. According to Bill Gates, whether you're a sports person or business person, you need a coach in your life. There must be someone you admire. Bill Gates, however, expresses that you don't have to have physical access to your coach. You can decide to listen to podcasts or read books by someone you admire. In that case, that person becomes your coach by default, even if you can't access them physically. That means you can follow your coach online, subscribe to their newsletters, get their ebooks, or read their blog posts. Remember, nothing is easy in life, and you need people who have been where you are to show you the way. The takeaway: find someone you admire in your field to be your coach. In conclusion, Bill Gates' advice is worth considering for everyone who not only wants to be rich, but wants to be super rich like the Microsoft founder. So if you are young and hungry for success and financial freedom, the advice that I've shared should be your driving force. I know this video is exciting and you loved it. Also check out